What's up, guys? Welcome to your 94th Android tutorial for the new Boston. What we're going to do in this tutorial is create a flipper class. Not like the dolphin, although that would be amazing if we could do that. Basically, we're going to use like a ViewFlipper, and you'll see what that is in this tutorial. So I created a class called Flipper and an XML file called Flipper, which we set the content view to. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go look for this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to this Transitions tab, and we're going to call this, or drag in this ViewFlipper thing here. So we're going to drag that in. Then we're going to go over to the XML, just kind of format it, and then we're just going to throw in some random crap. So be prepared for that, like a button, text view. Actually, let's just throw in a text view. So we're going to delete our button. Actually, no, we won't. We'll leave it. I'm sorry. Undecisive. So we're going to say Flipper 2 here for a text view, and we're going to say Control Copy and paste another text view. We're going to call this Flipper 3 and Flipper 4. So all we have to do now, since we have our flipper set up, what we want to do is we just want to put this ending statement outside of whatever we want our flipper views to do. So we can also set up linear layouts and then set up buttons within a linear layout to make the view look a little bit better. But instead, we're just going to have one class be, or like you can think of it as an activity, somewhat be a button. The next one's a view, a text view. Next one's another text view, etc. That's how the flipper class works. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the code. You're like, what? The code and the XML all in one tutorial? Thank you, finally. Instead of wasting our times here. So now let's create that flipper thing that we just created. So what we're going to do is we're going to say ViewFlipper, and we're going to call it Flippy. And what we're going to do is just add that reference as always. So and what do we give the ID for our flipper? Flipper ViewFlipper 1. So we're just going to stick with the standard, because I don't want to get into flipper too much here, ViewFlippers, but I just want to show you guys again for what you guys want to use it as. And then what we do is we just set up, basically, we can set like an on-touch listener or something to this. So that's what we're going to do, on-click listener. Type this. So anytime we touch one of the views, or it's going to, trigger the on-click. So nothing new there. And basically when we hit this click, we can do some methods, and this is what I want to get into. So we have this flippy thing, and we're going to use the method on it, and again we have to define our variable above our onCreate method and delete that there. So now we can use Flippy down here. So we're going to say Flippy, and one of the things that we can do is we can just say show next. So that's going to go into our next. Maybe I will have to break this into 2 tutorials because I want to show you a few other things that the flipper class can do. But let's just run it as now and make sure it works. But yeah, that's all this tutorial is. Basically, the XML file, when you set up this ViewFlipper, then you set up things within here, it's going to classify each one of those as a different kind of view, and it's just going to flip through them anytime we click on it. So here's our first view. Click on our ViewFlipper, which is up here, and so one thing that we can do is we can make this ViewFlipper fill the whole content, fill parent. I don't know if it's not for the height. Yeah, for the height we want it to fill parent, so that's something we can change. So we can click anywhere on the screen for the most part. But as you can see, it just will flip through all of our flippers and start over. So I mean, it's kind of nice to have for like a flashcard or something, a flashcard application where you just flip through flashcards or something for studying. But again, you guys can set up a linear layout here and then define some stuff within there if you want a view to be a certain way, and then you can just flip through them by this this command show next. So you can create a button up top above your ViewFlipper and you can click that to go to the next one, etc. So that's basically it for this tutorial. Actually, let's just show you one more and then we'll be done with this flippy thing. I know it's kind of a waste just to have one tutorial where we set up both a class and an XML file just for this. But another thing that we can do, let's say we want like a gallery that we have different pictures in each view, and what we can do is we can say, instead of saying the on-click listener to flip, well, we can do that anyways, but we can also set up a variable, a time variable. So we can say flippy.set flip interval, and it takes milliseconds. So let's just get crazy and say half of a second. So every half of a second it's going to flip to the next one, or that's the interval. And then what we have to do is we have to say flippy dot start flipping. Flippy start flipping. Dang it. Alright, so that's another kind of thing that we can do. So when we run our application, it's going to set this time variable to be half a second, and then it's just going to start flipping through it. And then every half second it's going to, just go to the next one. So that'd be good for like a photo gallery or something if you guys are creating that. I don't know. So as you can see, it's flipping through every half second. So that's another method that you guys can use. And then also when we click, we can make it go even faster because we have that on-click method. So I don't know. Thought I'd show you the flippin' flipper. And I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial.